1990s Titans League semi-final. The Viper against TaToH fighting for a spot in the finals. We will try to recap the set in 15 minutes. The opener was on Regicide Fortress, and we have some interesting civilizations. Italians against Saracens. Feels like some mind games were played there with the draft. Certainly matchup we don't see too often. And TaToH played it a bit like he needed to make something happen. We had a boom, 3 TCs from both players, had some nice shenanigans here, some small numbers of Genoese, some small numbers of Mamelukes, trying to buy some time. A bit of a relic heist here, the only thing that happened in the early game. And Monk actually saved there nicely in the tower with barely any HP left, some gates behind, and that is basically the most exciting area, or most exciting thing we had happen in the first 20 minutes. Then TaToH decided to go for a low economy push, 3 TC, lots of Monks and upgrades here. As you can see, even mixes in some upgrades. Didn't really know what he wanted to go for. It felt like also this push spot not too great with a very natural wall here with all the trees, and the push didn't have the greatest strengths here. We are seeing though lots of traps are out, and chemistry now finished as well. Bombard cannons on the way for both players, as we can see. And traps are trying to get some conversions in. We had some raids at the same time happening, and now the crossbows are coming in, and bombard cannon finding quite some kills while monks are defending the raid over here. And TaToH simply a bit out of position, didn't really get the conversions in. Traps all dying here. Pretty ugly spot for him. TaToH is going for some funny shenanigans here. Bombard cannon versus bombard cannon. Micro is saving one of them. Another one. Oof, jumping into the castle, now going out again. Bombard cannons flying in, going back into the castle, and a lot of micro moves, but it's just so much easier to play if you are the Italian player here. We are going for all the units, as you can see, like both players going for a big mix of units, very micro intense, and we see not really all the upgrades getting in there, and couldn't afford Obelisk, and also Hatra upgrades pretty late, 36 minutes into a Regicide game. Bombard cannon push here at the right side, and Viper just felt like he's getting more and more control on all the spots. Gets the raids in here at the bottom. TaToH sits at pop 160, 130 villages here, and raids did not stop all game long. Right side big raids, left side the push is coming in, as you can see. Look at that, Genoese crossbowmen, so many traps, so many bombard cannons, some more raids in the center as well, and TaToH no option but to tap out and give Viper game 1 here. What an interesting Civ matchup, maybe something that could be discussed in depth. What Saracens can really do, it just feels like Italians will have a lot of answer to the Saracens. Game 2 coming up, and what an unbelievable one. The Viper plays the task against TaToH with Burgundians, and Viper can't be too unhappy with the sheep that he found. +8 sheep here still left. Is going for a drush and will actually get in before the walls are closing. Then played a relatively fast castle age, as you can see. Tries to go for a crossbow timing, but kind of ran into a trap. TaToH just finished 1-1 with his skirmishes and will get a nice clear up. But this game has so much to offer. Elite skirms pushing this away, trying to expand here to the right hand side as TaToH now switches into Cavaliers. 26 minutes in, villagers relatively even, and this will be a relatively easy clear up for TaToH. Then tries to push through the center. Monks are getting sniped. Camels are doing okay though, and well, fighting next to the castle is not really an option for TaToH. So he tries to find a better option, and indeed does, and is yoinking those relics, but not too far. Will be stopped over here. So will be 3 versus 2 relics in the long run here. Viper will get those back, but nice attempt for sure. And Viper plays it very patiently, as we can see. Like, he goes for Kipchak, heavy CA, double gold army composition. We will get Burgundian vineyards. So TaToH is kind of playing 3 versus 3 relics here. Is trying to go for paladins, but didn't really find any openings for quite some time. And then we had the massive push at the bottom, but no castle at the front here, and that meant no gold income on the main gold. Made it kind of tricky. Investing the stone over here, maybe something you could look back into and think, okay, could have prioritized that a bit differently. And TaToH found quite some spots here to push, but heavy CA finding a good defense here for sure. Running back, fighting next to the castle. It's Viper heavily housed, but still, Kashyyyks are coming in with the skirmishes, and trap numbers are dwindling quite heavily. Paladins trying to find the big fight over here, as we can see, 45 on the map, but those heavy CA just so annoying, and finding good fight after good fight, and every time TaToH is engaging, it will just be tricky because the Kashyyyks will work as a good meat shield. And heavy CA microing away. TaToH is trying to make it pretty messy, is switching into a lot of trash here at the right hand side, and Viper losing quite some CA. But then we have to compare trash units, right? Skirm's better for our TaToH player, Hassa better for our TaToH player, Halberdiers better for Burgundian, but Viper didn't go for any Halberdiers all game long. Push coming over here, and now this gets into a massive long fight here. Trash war, because both players running out of natural gold, so will come down to the relics, and I will give you 2 moments that are kind of significant and like showing how efficiently both players are using their army. For example, here one trap is trying to push this one. TaToH is sending in some paladins, and Viper, he is able to block this one off so nicely. Gets the Hassas around, paladins not really getting into there, and the trap survives the castle, falls eventually. And a pretty similar situation there on the other side just minutes later, where we have 3 traps at this end. Halberdiers are trying to protect, Kashyyyks are coming in, and they will find the clear up. Not that group necessarily, but some Hassas after this one will be pretty happy, and that just stalls those pushes, right? And that just meant Viper will play this one a bit better in so many ways. Will be a long drawn out game, 1 hour 16 minutes. As we can see, we're jumping a solid 16 minutes here, and I will show you some of the heroes of this game. 29 heavy CA, 283 kills. Yeah, massive raids are continuing. This is going to be a massive game constantly, as we can see, more raids, an over 90-minute bloodbath. But now finally the push here with the Rams fighting for wood as well. Some at the top here. Viper limited already going for the left hand side, but those heavy CA, kind of the heroes of this show in the end. Over 350 kills for this group alone. Absolute madness, and TaToH has to tap this one out. Viper takes it and has to be flying towards the finals, because this is just such a heartbreaking loss for TaToH. Guaranteed. Arabia Game 3, the Viper with Mayans, Lithuanians for TaToH. And TaToH played quite a wild opening here. Like super delayed, Bloom even played a super early uptime, as we can see 10 minutes in, and we can see him with 4 archers out already. And yeah, this is only with 3 villagers start, so pretty wild one. Viper, pretty unfortunate map for him. Gold's very open, goes for this one on the outside, but TaToH goes for quite some aggression. Archer and scouts clearing up what Viper threw at him early on. Defensive tower already built, second archer range now, and he knew more aggression was coming, and it came. Crossbows around and double tower here for the defense. Couldn't really find too much more. Early monastery trying to pick up all the relics, and TaToH got 4 there. Crossbow not doing too well against the knights at this point with 1 relic, and scorpions obviously, and Viper with quite some losses. Had the better economy, is going for 3rd TC, while TaToH plays 1 TC. Lots of aggression here. Second siege workshop being built, and TaToH is splitting himself pretty thin. Knights are chasing 3 relics at this moment. Mangonel chased left hand side, Mangonel fights at the right hand side, and Viper, this is impossible to micro at both ends, even for him, and therefore lots and lots of losses. Repair comes in here, crossbows dying there at the top, and TaToH got quite some aggression here, doubled the army value right now. Viper still with a way better economy though. TaToH's aggression continued, and he is continuing to jump on all those crossbows here. Not a lot of golden come for the Viper at this very moment, and he's building a defensive castle, trying to hold, trying to save his 2 TCs here, but the knights are coming in, more Mangonels are coming in as well, and right now not a lot of army to protect it. 16 crossmen pretty much out of position though, and those are a lot of dead villagers, and spoiler alert, it won't be the last time in this game Later on, he is trying to build another castle here at the front, instantly stopped by some knights as well. Still massive advantage here for the Viper. Faster to Imperial Age, more villagers, but villager losses over and over again. This castle went up, but still losing, not really having any gold control. Makes it really tough for him, and obviously we want to see it even more. Viper builds a third castle here, tries to get it up, and lots of knights with +4 attack, make it plus... Yeah, not even forging here, but still good enough to slice through all those villages. TaToH far away from Imperial Age at this moment though, and Viper with lots of losses in map control, cannot really go for any gold units really. He's going for plumed halberdier composition, but that means TaToH just going for skirmishers will be enough. 136 villages and lots of map control, as we can see everywhere. And Viper, he sees, well, TaToH overwhelmed me, and after this heartbreaking game 2 loss, TaToH comes back. Strong performance out of him. Game 4 on Nomad, Viper leading 2-1, and both players, well, in a chatty mood here and also in a very cuddly mood. Both dogs super close next to another, and TaToH decided to play the fast castle. Basically here is going for the Rambai opening, tried to dock a bit later, and is contesting the water, and also basically on 3 different ends. Tricky spot here, both players losing quite a lot of economy, and we go into a game of a Rambai against Conquistadors, and also trying to go for some Mong shenanigans here. And Atonement is coming in, Mong is trying to get closer to it as well. A Rambai converted already for our Spanish player, and look at that, stealing the relic here, but now the Rambai should be able to deal with that. And yeah, some funny moves. Now the kill here didn't find the kill against the Monk, and the relic goes to TaToH. Going into a game where TaToH felt, okay, I can do some damage here and can get my castle up. Got to a lot of a Rambai, but apparently Viper is pretty good at this game and micros all those villagers, or focuses down all those villagers. A Rambai not finding the kills, and that castle won't go up, and that means Viper has a 20 villager advantage and lots of map control because he has the Conquistador mobility there. But a Rambai still on the field here, and both players continue to be really annoying, as we can see. A Rambai number at 23, getting really out of control compared to the 8 Conquistadors, and Viper thinks, okay, this is not good for me. I need to come up with other units, and goes for elite skirmishers here, trying to find the damage. And now one of the key moments of the game, where it was basically trying to get up a hill, traps versus traps, only 2 traps versus 3 traps, and villagers are being pulled. Having supremacy here, repairs are coming in slowly. Castle is denied, water control is there a bit as well, and Viper with 130 villagers pulls quite a bit. Traps still here, more being pulled for the repair, and the end result of this one will be that the traps are going down, the castle will be saved, and Viper holds this crucial hill on this map. Then Viper, after getting control here, got into the beautiful position that he got cannon galleons in the center lake, still Conquistadors out, got the untouched economy, and TaToH, he's trying to make something happen with lots of hussars, comes in with more Rambai. But obviously Spanish so incredibly good here, and Viper, even if the hussars are coming in, all the quick walls are on point, as you can see here. So many beautiful moves. Viper gets the position, his castle continues to shoot. 34 kills here, everything just so sharp, and the center control just too good, and Burmese can never break this. Cannon galleons of Spanish are just absolutely crazy here. Viper gets more map control outside, not really that important, and TaToH has to tap out. Viper takes the 3-1 lead. Fortified clearing, Bohemians against Gujaras, and both players played it a bit like they agreed that Bohemians will have the better late game army composition. We saw TaToH going for scouts here early out, but Viper, as we can see, already preparing the walls. Saw, okay, TaToH early feudal age timing, sent more villagers, trying to wall, and even with the market, tried to back up. And yeah, just an early feudal into nothing just to be safe against any aggression. Game then stabilized and Viper going for Pikeman and Monk, while TaToH went into a cavalry mix of light cav, some Shivamshas, some camels here, and try to deny the relics in the center. The main story at the bottom though, and Viper, well, those pikemen are no laughing matter of those bohemians. We also had some monks around. Viper focusing on atonement and redemption pretty early on. And the pikemen jumping in there, Mangonel converted, second Mangonel even dying here. Now the Shivamshas and camels are diving, but finding some kills, but that also stalled out the push quite a bit. Viper sitting on the 3 TCs, while TaToH only now just added his second TC. Viper even thinking about TC number 4 here. Conversions are coming in, monks are being saved, and Viper just feels like he has all the answers to the push. TaToH even tries a second time here, but as we can see, light cav not really finding anything. Scorpions are getting converted as well, and TaToH, he just couldn't find the damage that he needed. Viper, so aware of everything that was happening, had all the right moves. The push through the center now as well. Viper, well, a bit of an interesting move with a very aggressive castle here. Didn't really pay off for him. Won't go up some villager losses, but the main story is that he defends the side. Relics are at a very reasonable amount for him as well. And TaToH, he won't find the answers here to the Halberdier. Bombard Cannon, play Hoof Nietzsche would have been the next step here, looking at the resources as well. And Viper, he has to be happy because he is going into the finals of T90's Titans League Season 2. TaToH only saying GG, well played, good luck in the finals. And you wish me good luck with YouTube algorithm, doing all the algorithm work, liking, subscribing, following, watching the video again full time. Thank you. Goodbye. Hippo lover. See you at the finals.